Today we're talking about some organizing hacks that I feel like people don't talk about enough or share enough, or some ones that are personally new to me that have been making a big difference in my home. Let's do this. Okay, first up is rolling bins or roll out bins. I got these rollout bins that I use for my kids' cups and water bottles. They make such a difference for storing things in cupboards. Lots of times with a cupboard, like if I was gonna put all of these cups just into my cupboard, they would just be stored in there and I'd be pulling all the cups out and they'd be falling everywhere. But using a rollout bin allows me to just sort of roll the whole thing out, see what I need, and roll it back. You're essentially sort of creating like a drawer where there was a cupboard. And so I actually recently applied this rollout option to my refrigerator. The fridge is just one of those places that is a culprit for things getting stuck behind. You're constantly like pulling everything out and you're like, where's the mayonnaise? Where's the ketchup? And so I got some of these rollout bins from Target. I will have links in the description box down below. Now essentially what I've done is created little drawers inside of my refrigerator. It allows me to sort of pull it out and see what's in there. You guys might remember that I did a Pinterest worthy fridge makeover, and I love a lot of the things that I took from that makeover. But one of my favorite things was that I had implemented a couple of drawers, but the drawers that I had bought for the makeover were like a little too constricting because they had top. And so I love these rollout bins instead because I'm not confined to the exact shape and size, but it still allows me to get that ease and that mobility of the rollout bins. I love these things. Okay, my next tip is to think about storing things where they are used, which I feel like just saying that seems really obvious, but if you actually start to like assess a lot of where your things are stored, some things are not necessarily always stored where they are used. One of my favorite examples for this is socks. Most of us, where do we keep our socks? We keep it upstairs in the dresser, right? Because like that's where our clothes are. Socks are a kind of clothes. But I realized one day I wasn't often putting my socks on when I got ready for the day, when I got dressed for the day, and neither were my kids. We were needing socks when we were putting on our shoes. And so I ended up moving all of my kids' socks down to our little like mudroom area where I keep their shoes, and it saves us so much time and hassle when we're getting ready or trying to get out the door or whatever, because their socks are right there with their shoes, and they're putting their socks on when they put their shoes on, not necessarily when they put their clothes on for the day. Like never before in my life would I ever thought to put socks near the back door, but I'm like, where am I using the socks? I'm using them by my shoes by the back door when I am leaving. Another example of this in the sort of kid parenting department is I've started pulling out my kids' outfits for an entire week. This saves me so much time. I pull out a week's worth of clothes for both of my children. Now for me, my two older kids are still quite young. They're only 4 and 2. So we do not get dressed when we first wake up. Otherwise my kids would be going to school with breakfast down their shirt. We wait until we eat breakfast and then we get dressed. So it doesn't make sense for me to store this back upstairs in their bedroom where I'd have to go back upstairs and get it. I have started storing this literally in a pull-out drawer in our kitchen because that's literally where we use it. So I have started using this hack so much just when I'm doing like general organizing around the house. I really think like, is this where I'm using this item? Or is this just where I think that it should go? There is this one fruit fly that has been living in my office, and it's making me crazy. Okay, next let's talk about streamlining our cleaning stuff. I feel like between like cleaning tools and cleaning supplies, it's really easy for cleaning things to get out of hand. So I recently upgraded underneath my kitchen sink. I swapped out the plastic bins that I had for rollout bins. Again, talking about rollout bins from early in this video, I just find rollout products really do make such a difference to making things easier and more efficient for storing and using things. So I got these rollout bins from Target as well. And also when I was shopping at Target, saw this over the cupboard door caddy, and I love how this makes extra use of the space on the back of my cupboard door. I've been able to put some of the things that I use the most here, like my trash bags, my countertop cleaners. These are things that I'm using every single night. This that makes them right at a grasp for quick everyday cleanups. But I also love how it has a built-in towel rack. So now it's making the most use of the space, providing extra function as well. Now let's talk about cleaning tools and swapping out some of our cleaning tools. I recently swapped out the broom and wet mop that I used to keep at the top of my basement stairs for this wet dry mop from Roborock. Also a huge shout out to Roborock for sponsoring today's video. Ever since I bought this product, I've become a huge Roborock lover. I love how this streamlined 2 products I used to have to use into 1. I literally use this thing every day, sometimes multiple times a day. So when I heard that Roborock was launching their S7 Max Ultra at Target, I was very intrigued. The S7 Max Ultra offers a hands-free floor cleaning experience. It vacuums and mops all from one convenient compact dock that empties, washes, refills, and even dries itself. So talking about streamlining our products into one thing, this houses it all in one simple thing. You can control the entire thing from the app, and I love this because I can set up my own routines and zones. So after the breakfast rush, I have one that it does called mealtime, where it comes and it cleans up just under my kids' table and then it goes into the kitchen. And then at night when I go to bed, I have a full cleaning mode where it cleans the entire downstairs, mopping and vacuuming. And I even ended up making a backdoor setting. So if I notice it's dirty back there, I just press the backdoor clean, it goes over, it mops and vacuums up that area and heads back to the dock. The S7 Max Ultra is available in most Targets starting October 1st. And to celebrate their launch at Target, they are offering $300 off from October 1st to October 7th. I will have a link in the description box down below where you can find your nearest Target and get that $300 off offer. One organizing product that I feel like never gets enough hype is cord bundlers. Cord bundlers save me so much aggravation. I hate when I have like tidied or picked up and organized a space and then there's just like cords hanging out. I also just find organizing appliances, like especially kitchen appliances, if you have a cupboard where you're organizing multiple appliances, having cords hanging out all over the place just makes it so much harder because things are like toppling over the cords and you can't like get things in there. Cord management of appliances just keeps things so much more tidy. I keep cord bundlers on basically all of my big kitchen appliances. It literally takes 2 seconds to wrap them up and it makes it so much easier to store and to organize things this way. I also have started trying to bundle up all of the wires for our computers and our cell phones. I feel like these are things that are constantly hanging out. So I have a cord bundler that actually sticks right onto my computer charger so I can keep it bundled up when I'm using it or when I'm not using it. I also have one that I use for my cell phone charger to keep those wires like bundled away when they're not in use or even when I am using them so there's not excess on the counter. I recently got one of the roll down like egg dispensers. I had been seeing these all over the place and I wanted to see if they were worth the hype, and I have to say I think that they really are. You guys might know for a while I've been decanting my eggs into an egg like caddy organizer that I keep in my fridge, and I really do like this method of storing my eggs. So I decided that I would try out the roll down dispensing hype. I picked this one specifically because it's 2-tier. Lots of times in refrigerators we tend to have a little extra vertical space as opposed to horizontal space. So it has the smallest like vertical footprint in your refrigerator, saving you a lot more space. And I really like that. I really do just feel like it saves me a lot of space for my egg storage. Okay, speaking of replacement products, I am constantly always trying to find like the best products. Obviously, it's like part of sort of what I do, it's part of my job, and I get so excited when I find a new replacement for something that's even better. So in my big kids room, we have these book ledges, these acrylic book ledges that I installed like 2 years ago. I love them because aesthetically they're very pretty. I hate them because the books are constantly falling off of them. I always talk to you guys about with organizing, you always want to go with function over looks, and I totally didn't listen to my own advice here because I went for looks. I thought the acrylic shelf would be prettiest. So I ended up upgrading and I bought a new bookshelf. It was really easy to put together and I knew it was gonna be great because it's sort of like a ledge, but then it had a bar as well to protect your books from falling over. Are you helping?
Speaking of Target.
Are you a helper? And I took down the acrylic wall shelves, as beautiful as they were, and I installed this instead. And it looks fine, it still looks pretty, but is so much more functional. We can store so many more books. The books are never falling down. It was just such a great upgrade. All right, my friends, there you have it. Some organizing sort of hacks and tricks that I've been using recently that I think are making a big difference, or ones that I feel like just weren't getting enough hype and I wanted to hype them up. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and to others, and I will see you all in my next video.